Trading Success Blueprint, the Beginners Online Trading webinar. My name is Danny and I will give you the webinar today. I will explain first how the webinar is going to happen and then we can take it from there. So initially we'll have a nice introduction to the company, what services we're offering in this facility. I'm also going to cover briefly some of the buttons here, what they're doing and the functions here in the web trader. And on the second part, it will be more practical. So we're going to discuss decisions regarding logic behind what is buy and sell and basics of analysis, maybe on the third part, okay? But the main focus here, because this webinar is for beginners, is to give you strong foundations. Then upon them, you can carry on with more ease. Okay, there are questions here. Mr. Fundo, is this general comment section? It might be. It's the question section, but I guess you can comment here as well. Nobody can tell you otherwise. I see people raising their hands. There is really no need, guys. This webinar is recorded. And it's live, so you can just ask whatever you want because I can see all of your questions. Don't worry, I don't ignore them. I'm just going to get to them when the time's right, like this. So I had time and I read the question. Okay, but before we begin, it's also important to know that any capital markets and trading information disclosed in this webinar is provided for informative purposes only. It should not be constructed or applied as an investment advice, recommendation, or a suggestion. Okay, other than that, as I said a minute ago, the webinar is recorded and will be uploaded to YouTube later on to our channel. All right, so I just want to make sure everything is it's in its place. So just 10 seconds and I'll be back and we will begin. Thank you very much. Okay, it seems like everything is where it's supposed to be. Like I said, I'm Daniel. This is the Trading Success Blueprint, the Beginners Online Trading webinar, and we can finally hit the road. Before we begin, we're gonna get ourselves a nice notepad. So we're here in my screen. Oh, there we are. Okay. And as I said, we are going to have the webinar using the web trader. Now, the huge benefit about using this this platform. Okay, I'm gonna get to that. I'm just gonna write it up here so we won't forget. All right. So, as many of you know, AvaTrade, we are a regulated company. We have 9 licenses worldwide. We exist since 2006. We're always happy to give. As you can see, there is a customer service here. We're always happy to give assistance in case you have a question or a query or along your journey through the live chat here or through the WhatsApp. If it looks different, if this interface doesn't look as it looks to us now, you can send an email to cs@avatrade.com and they will assist you with getting the interface, and they will assist you with obviously whatever your question is. Okay, this is their email, and beside, maybe I'll put it down here among the rest of the platforms. So we have customer service for customer service, and we have a senior account manager that can be assigned on the account when the account is ready and funded and started to move. Okay, an account manager can assist you with all kind of things, with the plan, with a strategy, with calculations, with education. Anything you basically need from the trading side can be addressed by the senior account manager, and the service doesn't cost anything additional. Now, as I was about to say, the web trader is also this might be the desktop version, but we also have it in the app. It's called AvaGo. Beside that, we have MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5, which I'm sure you're all familiar. Maybe not all of you, but people are sure familiar with those platforms. And we have Ava Social and Ava Options. Now, I have syndicated with a gap here between those platforms, so you will know that the difference There is a difference between AVA options and those three, because with AVA options, we're trading options. Those we're trading CFDs, contract for difference, which I'm going to show you that the positions are leveraged by default. Okay, that's contract for difference, the difference between two assets. Okay, whether if it's a currency and a stock or an indice or another currency or anything else or a commodity. Okay, now Alpha Social is something that because this is a webinar for beginners, it's something that I might want to talk about, not too comprehensively, but just to explain the idea here. So when downloading Ava Social, you're going to enjoy two options which can assist you in particular as a beginner and maybe also as an advanced trader as well, right? So I can download the app and then I can follow somebody else. Okay, it's a social media trading platform. I can follow somebody else. I have nice lists with some kind of ranking, if you want to put it this way. I'm not sure if that's the right way to say it, but you have lists of traders and you can follow or copy. Okay, someone and follow someone, that means that I'm going to get his positions and then I can choose if to execute or not. So let's suppose that my traders wanted to buy one lot with AUD JPY and I'm going to get a message allowing me to follow his footsteps basically. Copy will be I'm still going to get the positions information though. I want to keep it in my sheets or make my own strategy from that. But copy means that those things will happen automatically. So if the one that I'm following traders, that my trader has executed such a position, my account will do the same. And I can adjust the balance and I can adjust all kind of things, okay, to make sure that the balances are computable. So if, for instance, I'm following someone that has, I don't know, $1 million in his account, and I'm only with 10,000, so I can make the adjustment for that to make sense and not to follow him as it is, because impact from an account that has 1 million and impact from a position, the same account on a different account, the same position on a different account might have much different impact when it comes to risk money management and those kind of things. Okay, so you know that you can make the adjustment and you can always follow and then copy, or it's not a prior step, you can do that. Okay, I think enough with Ava Social, because most of the information, there are lots of videos explaining how it goes. I just wanted to bring you the idea. We're not going to discuss Ava options for now. Neither those guys. Okay, let's just carry on with ease with the WebTrader and the AvaGo, which, like I said, very, very similar interface. The difference is that this one is the desktop version. It looks a bit different, but it offers the same, almost same features. Okay, now with the WebTrader, you should know that this is not something, as I said in the beginning, you have to download or install or any hassle from that kind. You're just gonna log in with your email and password. Simply gonna take you here, and as I said, if it doesn't look this way, you can just contact the customer service and they will apply it on your behalf or your account manager. Okay, we have a question here from Richard. Richard. Okay, so how does the margin call work? How much equity do I need to prevent stop outs? Well, this is an excellent question. That depends on your leverage. Okay, each regulation has a different margin requirement, different margin level requirement. Okay, and I can show you here that obviously I don't have any positions opened yet, so my used margin is 0. But as soon as the used margin, let me get to that, Richard. It's an excellent question. Let me get to that. But you're supposed to receive a margin call around 50%, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, you should check it by yourself. But yeah, I don't want to explain about it too depths because we're not there yet, and it might confuse the audience. So let's keep it for later. Yeah. So as I was explaining about the web trader, let's carry on with the features that it has. And the features that I'm going to show you now, guys, are not features that you can find with MT4 and MT5. This is why I took it out of the list. Okay, web trader and the AvaGo is where you can find it. And to begin with, what I want to show you is actually Ava Protect. I don't think we covered that for the past few webinars, so I'd rather do that. And one of the things that Ava Protect has to offer, unfortunately, the coverage is only for Forex, gold, and silver. So we're going to take either gold or silver. Let's go with gold. Okay, let's click buy just to show you that. Okay, and that's how I bring it up. Let's right down here, Ava Protect. Okay, and the way that I can use it, the way that I'm going to see it, is if I click sell or buy, and then when I have the order entry and the instrument details tab here, I have here the golden shield, and with it, it activates the protection. I'm going to write down a short description of how it goes. Clicking here or clicking here doesn't really make any difference, you see, and when I point on it, there is a nice bubble explaining me. I'm gonna write it down a bit more straightforward. It lets you protect the position for a certain time frame. Okay, and whatever you lost during that coverage will be back. You will get back, sorry. Okay, there is a fee when using the service. Now, point of this product. The point of this product, as I was explaining, is pretty amazing, especially for beginners. The reason, exactly what it's written here. So we're going to describe a brief scenario. Just going to write here scenario A and scenario B. Okay, and we're just going to compare the fee. This is something I would maybe recommend you to do. Okay, now we are with a buy. Let's make it just 10 ounces for the sake of the example. Don't worry, I'm aware that I'm doing things quickly, but it doesn't really something you should know because it's I will explain about it later anyway. And yeah, so we're gonna put those scenarios. I'm gonna show you about the fee, and I'm gonna show you about the scenario. So what can be the results? Okay, so we have a fee, potential profit. Okay, and in here we have a fee and potential loss. Okay, we're using the take profit and the simulate and the take profit and the stop loss to simulate what can be the possible profit and possible loss. Okay, in the possible profit, we have 222, 221, 20, keep on bouncing, and 224 is the loss. So obviously that's how I'm going to see it later on when I close the position. And exactly as it's written here, so I can cover the position from 1 hour to 3 hours, then 6 hours, then watch what happens with the fee, right? And then 2 days. So we started with 47, sorry, and then we see we ended up having 159 as fee. And you should know, guys, that it's what determines the fee is two things. One, the length of my coverage, so how far will I cover my position, if it's 1 hour or till tomorrow, you see 1 day, and the lot size, the quantities. So for instance, if I'm going to change back, let me change it down to 0.01. Okay, so my fee is such, and if I increase it to zero point 0.1, so this way, and one lot that way. I guess you understand the ratio of how it works. It's not really too crazy. Okay, and as I said, let's go for 3 hours. So we have 3 hours. That's going to cost us 96, 98, right? And in here, 96, 98, right? So in here, we're going to have, just a second. Now, why did I subtract? Because, right, so as I wrote here, when I'm paying, just a second, when I'm paying that fee, right? When I'm paying that fee, I'm also expecting to make a certain profit and a certain loss. So if my loss is bigger than the fee, that means that I'm using, there is a question here, this piece on how to place the trade. I need clarity. No, we're not there yet, sir or miss. This is just an explanation about Ava Protect. We didn't get to the practical part. I'm just showing you the features here. Maybe in just a few minutes we're going to carry on to the second part, but don't worry. This is why I said that you don't need to know what I'm doing as I'm explaining, and this is why I'm doing it swiftly. Of course. I wouldn't, yeah. All right. So, and this is why also I wrote the simple scenarios. Look how simple that is. We made the comparison. Okay, this is the fee. This is how much I can gain, how much I can lose. Again, I don't have to use those if I don't want to, but I used it to simulate to show you, right? Even if I don't use them, I can still use the product. It's not mandatory to, excuse me guys, just a moment. Have to liquefy sometimes. All right, so this is pretty straightforward, but still resets everything. Maybe I shouldn't have exited before, but never mind. We already wrote it here. Do we still have anything else, guys, about that product before we carry on to the rest? Because there's still two things I want to show you, but I guess this is enough with Ava Protect. Let's fold it down for now. Let's hop on first the news and then the economic calendar. So what I'm going to show you now, guys, is a very nice way to get some pieces of news, right? Fundamentals that could go along with your analysis. There are two kinds of analysis. There is, let me get rid of that for the time being. We don't really need that segment. And I'm just going to write it down: technical analysis and fundamental analysis. Now they both go along. Technical analysis will be withdrawn from what is in the chart, so that can be all kind of, I guess, I hope you're familiar with support and resistance and basic levels of pivot points that we can determine on the chart. So I'm just going to show you that quickly on, and then okay, so I'm going to show you the signal section for just a bit, because we don't have time to explain about that as well. Okay, because I want to give you some practical inputs. But the idea behind technical analysis, okay, is, like I said, things that I can withdraw from the chart. So that means all kind of support and resistance, as you can see, they are mentioned here and they are marked on the chart. And then I have key levels that I can determine. I can analyze the candle's shape, okay, by their shape, structure, and then I can determine consolidations area, and with that I can think about a good entry, and that's technical analysis. This umbrella is huge, but we're not going to discuss it too comprehensively. And let's carry on with ease to the news section, as I was about to say. So we have technical analysis, which I showed you for just a minute, and we have fundamental analysis. Now, fundamental analysis is exactly the opposite. I hope the software is giving me, guys, that the sound is disrupted. Can you confirm that my sound is still smooth, because it's showing me that it's disrupted, and I hope that everybody can hear me properly. Still fine. All right. Thank you, Andy. Excellent. Excellent. All right. All right. Okay. As I was about to explain, and this is super simple, guys, and I want you to just to understand how simple it is to hover around that section. So we've landed in the news section. Okay. Now we can see that it's provided by the Trading Central. I can basically scroll down. I'm just gonna pick that just as an example, no particular reason. And I can see here at the bottom that it's showing me, this is just one asset. Let me get something a bit more pre-Asia market. As you can see, it's related to 4 instrument. So when I'm done reading the article here, okay, reading it, then I can click here and I can see what's relevant. Okay, what can have an impact by that from the what is above. Okay, and then I can filter it by forex, by stocks if I'm more interested in stocks, commodities. Okay, it's part of the fundamental analysis, and I can connect obviously what's happening here to the charts. And if I keep going down, so we have here the market buzz. It's a bit more between fundamental and technical. It's not really okay. And then it's showing me what is more volatile these days, which maybe hint for me to follow. Okay, what might be fluctuated for me to enjoy. And the economic calendar is what I'm going to show you last before we carry on with ease to the second part. And this is again very simple. The way that it's structured. So we have 3 levels. Low, medium, and high. So in particular, let's suppose I want to focus only on the main events that has impressive fluctuations, if you want to put it this way. And I can hit here the high, and then it's going to show me the important events. So I can only focus on the high impact events. And if I don't want to see all countries, all currencies, let's suppose that I'm more interested in the dollar, okay, than anything else. So I'm going to click here on all countries, and then it's going to show me, you see this tiny arrow here, click it, and actually to deselect, it's actually a very frequent question. All you have to do is just click here again, and to click on the country that you want. And there you go. Okay, it's showing me only US news. I can also filter it by the date. So I can click on 24th, going forward, click 2 weeks forward, and it's going to show me here. You can scroll down. I can also put a particular event if I want. All right, and then you can see non-farming payroll. It's going to show me even the previous. I can follow and keep track. The way that it's structured in here, the importance we already went through that. The actual is the result. Forecast is what we had last time. Forecast is what we expect, and previous is what we had before. Sometimes you see the result is revised from the previous occurrence. Okay, and yeah, like I said, it's pretty simple. So we can filter it by the flags here. We can filter it by the impact. We can filter it by the date. And as an addition, of course, if I click on something, it's going to also show me a nice description. And the beautiful thing about it, which to my opinion is the most useful thing about the feature, is to add it to the calendar. Okay, and if I click it, it's going to allow me to add it to my calendar, and then I don't have to be worried about that. It's going to show me when it is, and then I can follow the market and go to the charts and then analyze it accordingly. Okay, I think that the first part is pretty much concluded. Let's go back to our charts and begin to analyze. Okay, let's get rid of, do we have any questions? I'm sorry, I almost forgot to ask you guys. Do we have any questions about the first part? Neither this, neither the economic calendar, neither the AVA Protect, anything that I showed, anything that you wish to share. Okay. This comes on by default. Let's begin manually. I'm going to show you that I can search something if I want just by clicking here on the search bar, right? If I click it and I put down gold, I can open up gold. Okay, that's one way. The other way is going through the list here. As you can see, we have categories, Forex, indices, crypto, stocks, and commodities. Let's go with commodities, and let's go with, we've seen metals. I think we had energies last week. Let's go with other agriculture. Okay. Sure, no, really. Soybean, how's soybean looking at? Not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad. I think we're going to stay with that. Just give me a moment, guys. Okay, first I will explain, and then we're going to have some fun with the structure. It's a very interesting structure. So, okay, let's just go to the right. We're going to look at the search bar going to the right, and then I'll explain about the right hand sidebar, and then we can get down to business. So this is the search bar. We already saw when I put down gold, I can pick it from the list. Okay, and let's keep it soybean as it was. Okay, and what we're going to do, you see here, we're going to change the time frames. Okay, so I have more time frames. Yeah, I have more time frames down. If I click here on the thin line toggle, just drag it down. It's showing me more time frames, or I can scroll with a wheel on my mouse. And I'm going to change it to weeks for the time being, maybe even days. Okay. And in here, I can change the candles. So right now we're looking at candles. I can change it to bars if I want. I can change it to a line if I want. Although there are certain things that the line is not allowing you to see. Okay, and it might be viable for the analysis. Okay, might scope it down this way. Right, certain hints that can assist us with analysis that has the advantage on candles rather than the line. See this rectangle as an example will not appear, sorry, will not appear with a line, yeah, just showing us flat. Okay, and that's how things are. I can change, obviously I would want to change the crosshair because this way we're not getting any information from the candles, right? And if I'll change from no crosshair to crosshair, now I do. Now I do, you see? I have this bubbly thing here. Okay, when I change to from no crosshair, now I don't have, now I do have. Okay, it's followed by that cross. Here I can change and split it to two charts, gold and soybean as an example. Let's bring it back. In here, I can add an indicator, right? Then I can click and drag, then click save. And in here, I have all the nice things which I've showed you. No, that doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right. Okay. All right. And I can also leave a note. Just a second, guys. Don't worry, again, we're not doing anything complicated. I'm just setting it up. Okay. Maybe a little higher. Okay. And now, so as I said, I might just put here a note. Okay. On a different time frame. Okay, it doesn't let me do it on the bigger time frames. Let's stick with the days for now. So for now, and it seems like the indicator is blocking our view. We'll get to that in a moment. Okay. And yeah, the sell and the buy. So we went through the toolbar, and now we're going through the sidebar. In here, I will explain in a minute. In here, if I click, I can get all kind of information about when it's open, when I can trade it, the lot size, the leverage, the margin, overnight fee, okay, all kind of interesting things. Okay, we don't have time to waste on that for now. Let's just right now begin to work. So we have soybean. Okay, right now we're gonna write down a few things that will help us construct the position with more sense rather than just to randomly pick sell or buy. Now, even if guys, I would tell you that soybean is going up, to my opinion, okay, to my opinion, let's suppose that it's going up. But I didn't specify to what price or during what time. I just told you that it's going up. Now, let me show you how quick the direction changes. Okay, just going to click here on 1 minute. And then I can show you that segment as an example. It wasn't too long ago. You see that the direction changes very, very frequently. That is why the buy or sell without the capture a certain time frame is not really useful. So if I told you soybean is going up, but I didn't specify to what price, it can go up $1 and then it can go 20. Yeah, if you keep the position while you are with a buy and it goes down, you have a loss. Okay, let's establish something very, very important and simple at the same time. The concept here, okay, when I'm buying something, my intention is that the value will increase. Therefore, if it goes down, I will have a loss. When I'm selling something, my intention is that the value will decrease. This is why if it goes higher, I have a loss. So to make profit with a buy, it needs to increase. To make profit with a sell, it needs to decrease. Okay, very, very simple. Now, as I said, the direction by itself is pretty futile. I need to specify and tell you guys, okay, it's going up to a certain price or from a certain price. Now, understanding that, when I'm looking at the chart here, I need to understand, okay, if I think that it's going up, okay, so to what price? To here, to here, to here, to here. Okay, I can go even higher, but there is no need. Okay, now, how can I know what price is a good price to aim for? How can I know that? I'm going to show you in a second. Just setting things up, guys. Excuse me. Okay. pretty much concluded resistance. Okay, we have lower lines as well. So we saw previously on the signal section, right? We saw together there are certain levels of support and resistance. Now, when we are with a buy, and our intention is that the value will increase, okay? So we can capture, you see the higher lines, the higher pivots are called resistance. The lower lines are called support. Those are edge points determined on the chart, and they can be found in almost every, maybe I can say almost every level, every time frame. Yeah. Okay. We have a question here from Richard. What's the best indicator for you to determine what price should know when soybean goes up? Okay, I'm getting to that, Richard, but I can't reveal all the secrets in the beginning. Okay, I have to build it up. Okay, we're just going to explain about that on a nutshell, just this concept, and then I'll get to the indicator. So as I said, looking at soybean, this looks very, very nicely. Right now, we're looking at the bullish trend. A bull lift his opponent in the air. This is why bullish is for a positive trend, and bearish is a bear who slammed his opponent to the ground. Wendy, you have a question. Would you use solid candle at support and resistance or the weak? That depends what I'm trying to achieve. If I'm looking at support and resistance, excuse me guys, just a second. All right, sorry, we had a little visitor. And as I was saying, Wendy, that depends what I'm trying to achieve. As you can see, this is without shred of doubt, this is one of the support lines. Now, even though we would have, maybe you would have expect something like that, right? The support, you would expect a hammer or a dragonfly, but it doesn't contradict to have a solid candle to indicate support resistance, especially when we are looking at a very fancy reversal. All right, let's get to that, guys. I like those kind of questions, but I just want to remind you that the webinar here is for beginners. So I'd rather explain about those things after we have established the basics. Okay, so as I was explaining, as you can see, those are nice resistance line, now support lines. Okay, we see everything very clearly, and that's very nice. And my question was, so let's suppose we're looking at the buy, no problem. I'm just gonna take it down to the bare minimum. And okay, so how can I know which price is realistic? Maybe it can get to here. Maybe it can get to here or here or here. Okay, so let's increase it just a bit. Let's make it a round number. Click save. Okay, and then I'm going to write you a question here, guys. Can soybean get to 12.20? I'll make it easier for you guys because there are lots of numbers here. All right. Think about that question. Think about that question. I promise you that we're going to have an answer to that in no time. Okay, so my question was, can soybean get to 12.20? Okay, you can tell me yes or no if you want. All right, now in the meantime, we're gonna fulfill those 4 elements that we have. Go. Okay, we always write it this way, or maybe target, time, movements, and units, as you guys know. Movements, also known as price difference, and units known as amount lot or quantities, but that's kind of the same. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to simply set a target that will help us know what we can make or lose, because even if I find out, okay, it can get to here or here or here, still it doesn't indicate anything that I can gain or lose. In other words, I can click here buy and it can get to here, but I don't know if it's good for me or not. Maybe I'm not going to make enough money. Maybe this is too long. So first, I would like to set a target to myself and say I wish to make on this position, let's suppose, $750. Okay? And the time that I wish to make this 750, why do I have to set the time? Why can't I make 750 whenever? Because making it in a day might be pretty good. Speaking about 20,000 something a month, not bad, right? Maybe more. If I make it in a week, still might be good. We're talking about roughly 3K a month. We're not gonna get rich from that, but not bad. What about a month? Maybe. Okay, maybe it's good. What about a year? Anyway, you understand the purpose of the exercise that I'm showing you now. I want to capture a time frame that I can A, focus with my candles, B, suits my ambitions. The same reason I'm not going to work for $1 a day. I also want to know how much I can gain out of the position because I'm putting time and effort into that. Now, let's suppose we're going to go for a week. Okay, 700 in a week, like I said, is 3K a month. It's not bad. And now we have got to the solution for that question. So I ask you, can soybean, and to be honest, I didn't get a lot of answers. Guys, this is a very, very simple question, right? Can soybean get to, this is probably, you guys have to let me know when I'm making a mistake with here, because it's, I'm writing a lot of things at the same time. And I didn't notice. Okay, I was referring to 1220, right? So 1220. Let's do quickly. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see the answers. So Wendy, you wrote no. Cliff, that depends. Okay, we have a politician here. Fundo, and how long? Okay, that's what I was looking for. Matthew, that depends. Okay, so we have 2 depends. We have how long from Mundo. Wendy, you said no. Frank, also no. Okay. So nobody said yes. And that's fine. As you can see here, which is an excellent question, how long? Okay. I just showed you a minute ago that the market is changing all the time. So to ask the question if it can get there or not is futile. Why? Because it can get there sometime. We don't know when, but definitely it can get there, especially because it was already here. When it was already here, 21st of March. So if I'm looking at the statistics and I'm thinking, okay, it's been there around a month ago, I'm expecting it to get there in, where was it? In a week. Okay, with this rough comparison, I would say between a month and a week, it might not be probable to get there. Okay, but I want to strengthen my grip and understand if it can get there in a week or not using an indicator. How can I do that? Let's just paint that in turquoise. Okay. And how do I do that? I'm gonna click here on the indicator, gonna put here AVE for average true range, then I'm gonna click and drag it to the right. And then it's gonna show me how many days backward it's gonna count. Now you see the length. So 14 might be too far. Let's go for 10. And let's make it mustard maybe. Maybe that one. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna keep it on wheelers and hit save. And now it's showing me, okay, Danny, you should know. Soybean on average, this is the range. It's not a guaranteed number, but it's moving 11. Oh, right, we are on days. We are on days, as I showed, we are on days. Okay, no problem. But because we're analyzing weeks, I'm gonna change now to weeks. Okay, just to validate, click here on weeks. And now it's showing me 40. It's showing me 40 on average for a week. Therefore, regarding our question, are we above the range or out of the range? Is 54 versus 40,046. Is that in our range? Guys, this is a very simple question. Is 54 in the range of 40 or it's beyond the range? Beyond the range. Beyond the range. In this case, we're gonna switch back 2 days, and we're gonna see what is in the range. Yeah, very, very simple. So I'm simply gonna put 1165, which is the price, and I'm gonna add 40 to it. Okay, 1205. This is roughly where? Okay, 1205. No problem, I know that it can get to here, but as a precautious, I'm gonna go for a lower point. Let's try 25. Now, why didn't I take 40 as it is? Okay, so now we're gonna switch those to that. Now, why didn't I get 40 as it is, guys? Who knows? Because I understand that the market might get close to it, like happened here, okay? And then I don't want to get caught with a take profit that doesn't trigger. So I'm gonna go for 1190. Again, as I said in the disclosure, you don't have to go by my footsteps, but I'm showing you a nice technique. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put here 25 instead of 40, maybe out of 40, which is ATR. Okay, and then I need to find out what is the necessary quantities for me to make 750 with $25 per bushel, right? We are, sorry, soybean is not bushels, it's units. It's by weight. Now, how do I do that? I'm just gonna go target divided by movements equals units. Therefore, 750 divided by 25 is how much, guys? I'm gonna give you 10 seconds before I hit the buzzer. Clock is ticking, Let's see who gets it right. Let's do it together. Very good. Whoever answered 30, good job, guys. Now, let me show you how it's done. So we're going to click here on the take profit and the stop loss. Do you remember that in the beginning we simulated with Ava Protect what can be the profit or the stop or the loss? Now, take profit and stop loss are pending orders. That means that I can execute the price. I can launch the position now, okay? But I'm not gonna stay next to the computer forever. I'm gonna go do something else. So the pending orders are staying on the chart, and when it reaches that level, it's gonna close the position. In this case, with a profit, in that case, with a loss. Okay, very, very simple. One more time, I can set here the price that I want the platform to close it automatically, and I can set here the price that I want the platform to close it with a loss. Okay. We still have a few more minutes, guys, and I want to explain about the leverage. Do we have any questions so far? Oh, let me show you the result. Sorry. Let me show you the result. Therefore, if I put here 30 per units, I can accomplish the amount that I wanted. Now, it's not going to show me a flat 750 because I have the spread. Okay, the spread is the difference between the bid and the ask. It's a tiny commission that we take in the beginning of the trade. Okay, as you can see, you have buy price and sell price. When I'm buying, it will always be with the buy price. When I'm selling, the sell price. Very simple. And yeah, and it's showing me here the result. This is a well-composed position. Okay, didn't do any analysis, but it seems fine. Now, I want to explain to you about the leverage. Okay, so we'll know we have the budget to execute that position, the margin to execute that position. So we have something called price per unit, which is the presented price here. Okay, sorry, in here. It's also presented here, but it's also presented in the green ray here. Okay, see, that's the same. So we have price per unit times quantities. Let's put it this way, and then you can see it on the platform. Lot amount equals value. So that means 1165 times 30 equals 35,070. And okay, as you can see, it's already written here. You don't need to know that by heart. Yeah, it's already here. Seems like I can also be precise with the half year, and then we're gonna get the complete number, but it's really not that important now. Okay, and then I have the value. Now, if I'm looking at the leverage here, see leverage, what is the leverage doing? The leverage is multiplying buying and selling power as if my account would have been higher. Therefore, when I'm looking at here, you see on the I, it's giving me a nice explanation. But in here, I'm going to put in brackets, multiplies buying and selling. Okay? And in here, I'm going to put value divided by leverage equals margin impact. And margin impact is the necessary amount to open a position. Okay? Therefore 35,010 divided by 10 equals 3,501. Okay, margin impact. Very simple. So guys, we still have another 4 minutes. Do we have any questions about what I showed you so far? Oh, just before that, I nearly forgot. I wanted to also to show you about the stop loss, because the take profit is designed because of the target, but the stop loss, I want to show you that. So the stop loss actually placed it the same length, vice versa. So it's you see 1140, but the loss here 780. I'm not sure that I'm happy with it. There is something called risk reward ratio, and then I'm looking at the profit, looking at the loss, and I can determine if it's good for me or not, right? Now, in regards to the loss, I'm not sure that I'm happy with 780, because balance of 10,000 minus 780 equals 7.8% on that position, right? Is that something that I'm happy with? Maybe. But if I want to adjust it, let's suppose that I'm not happy with the 780 and I want to make it half. What I can do is I can either increase the stop loss, right? Sorry. Let me I'll do it with you. Okay? If I increase the stop loss, see, I increase because it's with increments of 25 cents, might take us some time. You see, the more I increase, my possible loss gets lower, okay? And as you can see, I was aiming for roughly, oh, sorry, half of 780. Let's do it with the calculator. Is 390, sorry. Okay, I can do it this way. Or I can decrease the lot size, but then I'll have an impact on my profit as well, right? I hope that's understood. If I cut that by half, then I can expect lower profit as well. Okay, which we don't want that. So we're gonna keep it as it is. And okay, right. So our time is up, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that I was able to teach you at least one new thing or more. And yeah, and you're welcome for tomorrow live Q&A. Tomorrow we're gonna have a nice live Q&A, so you can join us and ask the questions that I couldn't, unfortunately, answer about today. And that's it. I wish you all fruitful week and best of luck with trading, and have a good day.